Dear students, five types of modifications of roots are completed. They are namely first type of modification of root, that is storage roots or tuberous roots. Second type of modification of roots, that is prop roots or pillar roots. Third type of modifications of root, that is stilled roots or brace roots. Fourth type of modification of roots, that is respiratory roots or breathing roots. Fifth type of modifications of roots, that is epiphytic roots or velamin roots. Now today we are going to discuss about the sixth type of modifications of root, seventh type of modifications of root, and eighth type of modifications of root. Sixth type of modification of root, that is parasitic roots or ostoral roots. Seventh type of modifications of root, that is nodular roots. Eighth type of modifications of root, that is photosynthetic roots or assimilatory roots. Now let us sixth type of modifications of root, that is parasitic roots or ostoral roots. Dear students, what is the meaning of parasite? In some living organisms is always depend upon to another living organisms, that is called parasitic organisms. Some of the bacteria, some of the viruses, some of the fungal organisms is always depend upon to the living plants, living animals, living human beings. This is a one parasitic phenomenon. So dear students, some of the living plants is also depend upon to another living plant. In which purpose? For their water, mineral nutrients and food. So some of the plant organisms are not prepare own food material, is always depend upon to the another living plant organism, that is named parasitic organism. So in this parasitic organisms are of two types. One is partial parasite, second one is complete parasite. By means parasite roots or ostoral roots are of two types. The first one partial parasitic roots, second one complete parasitic roots. So dear students, partial parasitic roots, the best examples are here viscum and striga. Complete parasitic roots, the best examples are here cuscuta and rafflesia. So dear students, this is a partial parasite of viscum and this is a complete parasite of cuscuta. So dear students, to be observed, this is a host plant organism, this is a parasitic plant organism, and this is a host plant organism, and this is a parasitic plant organism. By means this is a host plant, this is a parasitic plant, this is a host plant, this is a parasitic plant. So first one here, partial parasite of viscum. So dear students, this is a viscum or also striga. So the partial parasitic plants such as viscum and striga is to send me ostoral roots, is to send me ostoral roots. So some of the hand of finger-like structures to be appeared in this parasitic plant. By means the viscum and the striga are not having to true roots. So in this time, so to be produced hand-like structures of roots are developed. Hand-like structures of roots are developed. This is a hand and these are the fingers. So this is a hand and these are the fingers. So hand-like structures of roots are developed in this viscum and striga, that is ostoral roots. That is ostoral roots. These are ostoral roots. So this single hand containing 5 fingers. So this is a hand, that is ostoreal. So these are finger like, that is roots. So that is ostoreal roots. That is ostoreal roots. So ostoreal roots will be sent partial plant organism in the host plant of the xylem or in the host plant of root system. Why? Because in generally all plants roots is always absorb water and mineral nutrients from the soil. So these are absorption of water and mineral nutrients transport in their total plant body through the xylem, through the xylem, through the xylem. So xylem and phloem both are vascular tissues. Both are vascular tissues. The first vascular tissue, that is xylem. The second vascular tissue, that is phloem. So the xylem is always transport of water and mineral nutrients from the root part to entire plant body. So phloem is always transport of food material from the leaves to remaining total plant body. That is phloem, that is xylem. So xylem and phloem both are vascular tissues. So in this xylem and phloem are will be containing the internal structure of root and the internal structure of stem. Not clearly shown of xylem and phloem. Both are tissues are always arranged in the internal part of the root and internal part of the stem. Internal part of the root and internal part of the stem or internal part of the leaves. So dear students, in some plants like striga and viscum, that is also called partial parasites. So these partial parasites to be sent ostoreal roots within the xylem of host plant, within the xylem of host plant for absorption of water and mineral nutrients. To get water and mineral nutrients, that is called partial parasites. Partial parasites. So dear students, this is a host plant. This host plant would be containing a well-developed stem, well-developed leaves and well-developed roots. So this is a parasitic plant. So this parasitic plant containing stems and leaves, not containing roots. Not containing roots. Roots are absent. In striga and viscum, roots are absent. Only present stem and leaves. So in this time, so this striga and viscum to be sent ostoreal roots within the xylem of the host plant. Within the xylem of the host plant. By means these ostoreal roots to be connected. So xylem of the host plant. Why? Because this xylem is always transport of water and mineral nutrients from the root system to entire plant body. So in this time these ostoreal roots to get water and mineral nutrients. So within connecting of host plant of xylem, host plant of xylem. By means in this striga viscum only depend upon to the water and mineral nutrients to be host plant. To be host plant, that is called partial parasite. The partial parasites, given the examples for here, viscum and striga. So in those are plants, why? Because called of partial parasites. By means those plants only depend upon to the water and mineral nutrients in the host organism. In the host organism, not depend upon to the food material. Why? Because containing leaves. Leaves to be make a own their food material, carry out photosynthesis. Carry out photosynthesis. Next, coming to second type of parasitic plant, that is complete parasitic plant. So this is a complete parasitic plant. Dear students, this is a host plant, this is a parasitic plant. The best examples are here Cuscuta and Rafflesia. So dear students, the Cuscuta and Rafflesia are not containing root system and are not containing leaves, only containing stem and flowers. This is very, very important here. Partial parasitic of striga and viscum, both are not containing root system, only containing stems and leaves. But complete parasitic of Cuscuta and Rafflesia are not containing root system and leaves, only containing stems and flowers. So in this time, so this plant totally depend upon to the host plant, that is complete parasitic plant, not to be make a own food material, not to make a own absorption of water and mineral nutrients, is always depend upon to the another plant, that is always depend upon to the host plant. So in this time, the parasitic plant of Astorial roots, so to collected within the xylem and phloem, within the collected in xylem and phloem. So these roots are named as complete parasitic roots. Okay, now complete parasitic roots of Cuscuta and Rafflesia. So both are containing two types of Astorial roots. One Astorial root is always connecting within the xylem. Another Astorial root is always connecting with the phloem. Why? Because so are not having to roots and are not having to leaves. So to be get water and mineral nutrients is also food materials depend upon to the host organism. Depend upon to the host organism. So this is also known as complete parasitic plants or complete parasitic roots. The best examples are here Cuscuta and Rafflesia. So once again, dear students, parasitic, partial parasitic roots, partial parasitic roots only depend on host organism, in which purpose to get water and mineral nutrients. Complete parasitic plants is always depend upon to the another host plant, in which purpose is always depend upon to the to get water, mineral nutrients as well as food materials, not make a own food material, not make a own absorption of water and mineral nutrients. This is also depend upon to the another host organism. This is a parasitic roots or Astorial roots. Parasitic roots and Astorial roots. Parasitic roots, that is partial parasitic roots mainly connected within the xylem. Complete parasitic roots mainly connected within the xylem and phloem. Why? Because xylem is always transport of water and mineral nutrients from the root system to entire plant body. The phloem is always transport of food material from the leaves to entire plant body. So in this time, these parasitic plants to be produced, some of the Astorial roots. These Astorial roots easily absorption of water, mineral nutrients and food materials within the host plant. Next, seventh type of modifications of root, that is nodular roots, especially in Fabaceae family members. Fabaceae family members. That examples are here groundnut, soya bean, and gram plants. These are also Fabaceae family members. The Fabaceae family or Leguminaceae family members such as nut plants, bean plants, gram plants. The best example are here groundnut, soya bean, as well as red gram. Dear students, so these are dicotyledon plants. This dicotyledon plants would be containing taproot system. So this taproot system containing nodule size of the structures. This taproot system containing nodule size of the smaller size of the structures would be appeared in this taproot system. So hence these roots are named as nodular roots. In Fabaceae members or Leguminaceae members, the roots containing in which root? Taproot system containing smaller size of the nodules. So these nodules are named as nodular roots. So in this nodular roots containing one type of bacteria, that is Rhizobium bacteria. So this Rhizobium bacteria is always helping in fixed atmospheric nitrogen. Is always helping in fixed atmospheric nitrogen. And in this nodule should be containing so red or pink leg hemoglobin. Red or pink leg hemoglobin. So nodular roots would be formed groundnut roots. So these nodular roots containing Rhizobium bacteria. This Rhizobium bacteria is always fixed atmospheric nitrogen. And these nodules would be containing one red or pink pigment, that is named leg hemoglobin. That is named leg hemoglobin. Dear students, this is a groundnut root system. So these groundnut root system containing smaller size of the nodules. Smaller size of the nodules. These smaller size of the nodules to be appeared bunch-like structures. Bunch-like structures. So these roots are named as nodular roots. These nodular roots containing Rhizobium bacteria. This Rhizobium bacteria is always helping in fixed atmospheric nitrogen. Fixed atmospheric nitrogen. By means these plants are having to very well nitrogen. These plants are having to very well nitrogen. Why? Because these plants also containing Rhizobium bacteria. Rhizobium bacteria. So next eighth type of root modification, that is photosynthetic roots. So this is a photosynthetic roots of Cteniophyllum. Photosynthetic roots of Cteniophyllum. In generally, all roots carrying water and mineral nutrients from the soil. All leaves to be carrying photosynthesis by means in the presence of sunlight to be make a own their food materials. Why? Because these leaves containing chlorophyll pigments, so hence is always green in color. That is photosynthetic leaves. That is photosynthetic leaves. So in well developed angiospermic plant, any monocotyledon plant or any dicotyledon plant, the leaves is always greenish in color. So the stem is early green in color, after maturity period brown in color. But roots is always brown in color. Why? Because so roots is also developed below the soil or underground part of the soil. So hence non presence of the sunlight. So is always brown or dark brown in color. But here especially Cteniophyllum. So Cteniophyllum containing Cteniophyllum roots containing chlorophyll. Cteniophyllum roots containing chlorophyll. And to perform photosynthesis. These roots are named as photosynthetic roots. By means Cteniophyllum is one of the epiphytic plant. This Cteniophyllum is always grown on another plant of the stem or another plant of the stem branches. In this Cteniophyllum are not containing stem and roots and stems, only containing leaves. So these leaves to be act of roots, not containing leaves and not containing stems, only containing roots. So these roots are to be act of leaves. Some roots are to be act of leaves. So that is named photosynthetic roots. So in generally partial parasitic roots, the Viscum striga roots are absent. Complete parasitic roots, that is Cuscuta rafflesia. So the roots and leaves are absent. But here photosynthetic roots, that is Cteniophyllum. So stems, leaves are absent. Stems, leaves are absent. Only present in roots. Don't confuse over here. Partial parasitic roots such as Viscum striga, root are totally absent. In this time to be developed osteorial roots. Complete parasitic roots such as Cuscuta and rafflesia. So totally roots and leaves are absent. Only present in stem. In this time to be developed osteorial roots and osteorial type of leaves. And photosynthetic roots, especially Cteniophyllum. So Cteniophyllum are not present in stems and leaves, only present in roots. So in this time some of the roots are modified photosynthetic roots by means is always appeared green in color, containing photosynthetic pigment to perform on their food materials. That is called photosynthetic roots. That is called photosynthetic roots. In Ctenophylum, to be photosynthetic and to perform food material by means in Ctenophylum some of the roots are chlorophyllous by means green in color and to perform photosynthetic these roots are called photosynthetic roots. The best examples are here Ctenophylum. So this is a photosynthetic roots of Ctenophylum. So these photosynthetic roots are look like ribbon-like structures. So ribbon-like structures of roots are to be appeared Ctenophylum. So these are the 8 types of modifications of roots. That is first one storage roots or tuberous roots. Second one prop roots or filler roots. Third one stemmed roots or brace roots. Fourth one respiratory roots or breathing roots. Fifth one epiphytic roots or velamen roots. So sixth one partial roots, again are of 2 types, partial parasitic roots and complete parasitic roots. Seventh one nodal roots. Eighth one photosynthetic roots or assimilatory roots. Okay, now thank you.